Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Lily Cheyenne, Watchman on the Wall, and I just wanted to make this video because I had a few people that made some comments, and I'd like to address those comments. They're on Facebook though, not on YouTube, but I'm just gonna make a video about them. People seem to think that if you don't support Donald Trump, then you're automatically a Democrat and you support stuff like abortions and gay marriage and stuff like that, and that is absolutely not true. If someone doesn't support Donald Trump, that doesn't make them a Democrat automatically. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I don't side with either side because I know that it's all a game. It's like this, a right wing, left wing, but they both come from the same bird, and they just operating that bird, and that's what they're doing. They're just operating together on, differently, but they're trying to bring in the New World Order. May not believe it, but that's what they're doing. John F. Kennedy tried to expose these secret societies, and he even has a speech talking about the secret societies, and basically that's the reason why he was assassinated, is because of the Illuminati and their takeover, or trying to bring in this New World Order. That's the reason why they killed him. And this New World Order plan, it's been in the making for a while. A lot of the presidents that came after John F. Kennedy were helping to bring in this New World Order. They changed policy, changed laws. They may have known that they were doing it, or they might not have known, but that's what they were doing. And they were either a Democrat, Republican. You just look up the presidents that come after John F. Kennedy, and you'll see that not all of them were Democrat, not all of them were Republican, but they were all trying to bring in this New World Order. And the biggest one that actually just came out and just said it out loud for everybody to hear it was George Bush Sr. He was letting the world know that's what he was up wanting to do, is bring in the New World Order, and he said that when they are successful, and they will be, they'll bring in this New World Order. And then George Bush, he was also trying to help bring in the New World Order. Clinton was trying to bring in the New World Order. Obama was trying to bring in the New World Order, and everyone don't believe that Trump's trying to, but I really believe that he is, and he's got a lot of people deceived. The Bible talks about that in the end times there would be a strong delusion, and I feel like Donald Trump is part of that strong delusion, and so is the mark of the beast. It will be a strong delusion because people won't believe that it's the mark of the beast. They'll think it's some kind of medical type thing, that it's necessary for them, for medical purposes, and they won't believe that it will be a mark. And especially if they don't believe that the president that's telling them to get it is a bad president. They're going to say we're not there yet, and they're not reading their Bibles, and they're just going to follow along with the plan under a strong delusion. And I'm really hoping that people start to pull off their blinders so they can see the truth, and and not make the mistake of taking the mark of the beast. I don't know if people realize this or not, but the world has been taken over, and it's been taken over a long time ago. And the presidents aren't elected, they're chosen by the Illuminati. They may make the world believe that we played a part in it, but we really didn't. It's been like set in stone before we even knew who was going to be president. They already knew. In fact, they knew in the 80s who was going to be president, because they had Bart sent some cartoons with Donald Trump winning the election, and I didn't even know who Donald Trump was whenever I watched that stupid little cartoon of The Simpsons. So, they knew he was going to be the president a long time ago. And a lot of people are not understanding that this world is being controlled by an evil society called the Illuminati, and they also have Skull and Bones. There's a lot of different names they go by because they got to disguise themselves, under different titles, so you get confused. But yeah, they're in control. They're the ones that control the media. They make our cartoons, and they put out things that people listen to, like for instance music and stuff like that. They're in control, and they worship Satan. That's who they worship, and they are like a hive mind. Like they all are spiritually connected with one another with this evil spirit in them. It's really easy for me to see all this. And like I said before, I'm not the most intelligent person in the world. I don't claim to be the most intelligent person in the world. And I have learning disabilities and stuff like that. But I can see this so easy. It's like, I don't even have to try to see it. I just see it. It's like, I can see right through them, and if you really pray and ask God to open your eyes, you'll see it too. You'll see it in these people. You'll know that they're not right. If you pray and ask God to help you open your eyes, you'll notice their facial expressions, the way that they present themselves. You could just tell when people are putting on a show. You could tell that they're not being for real. And they're just acting. You can tell all of that, and that's what I can see in these people. They're just putting on a show, and it's really sad that so many Christians are eating it up. They think that Donald Trump is for real and that he's got our best interest at heart, when he really don't have our best interest at heart, not at all. I've also noticed this about Donald Trump, and if you pay attention, hopefully you can at least see this. Anytime he's caught, he's always got someone else to blame. He points the finger at other people. And every single time he's on stage, it seems like he's always got to throw in something like a little thing about Hillary, or something about attacking somebody like a Democrat or something, right? It's always something. It's almost like playing like he's a little kid that's on the playground, that's doing a lot of pointing and blaming other people and manipulating people, kids. I don't know, it's hard to explain it, but I see right through Donald Trump, and I just wish that everybody else could see it too, because he's playing everyone, and a lot of innocent people are falling for it, and I don't like to see that happen. Also, you need to keep this in mind. Donald Trump said for himself that he never asked God for forgiveness of his sins. So he's not a true-born believer of Jesus Christ. He might be doing a lot of nice things, like, I don't know, like making it seem like he's trying to help the Christian community and stuff like that. Well, he is trying to help a religious community, but he's not trying to help the Christian community. He's trying to help the Roman Catholic Church community. That's what he's focusing on. If he's, giving more power to any Christian group or organization, is to the Roman Catholic Church. And here soon, the Roman Catholic Church with Pope Francis, the false prophet, he's going to be in control of this one world religion, and Donald Trump's going to be part of it, and so is his best little buddy Conway West. And they're going to be pushing in that Sunday law worship, and their microchip that they're going to put in your hand or your forehead, So, yeah, all of this is coming, and Donald Trump is part of it. But a lot of Christians, they don't see that, and they don't understand what he's actually doing. Like the time whenever he was trying to help bring the Bible back to the schools. Well, I really wish that a lot of Christians would research what Bible was put back into the school, because it wasn't a Bible that, like a King James Version Bible. It was a Bible that was edited, and all the references that was, like talking about homosexuals and how it's an abomination, that was taken out, so that way the homosexual community wouldn't feel offended to have the Bible at school. So this Bible was edited, and a lot of things in it was edited, and that's why there wasn't a pushback from the LGBT community to get rid of the Bible, because it was a Bible that was accepted by the LGBT community. They were happy that they put that one in there instead of the, like a King James Version Bible. But see, a lot of these Christians that support Donald Trump, they're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not investigating. They just hear a little something here or there, and they run with that, and they don't listen to every single thing that he says. It's like they think he's great, and that's all they need to know, and they don't continue listening to everything else he says. And then whenever someone else like me tries to tell them something, they don't even want to believe it. They call it fake news or whatever, because they've already been brainwashed to believe everything is fake news. And it's kind of funny, because I was talking to one of these Donald Trump lovers, and I was actually showing them a video where Donald Trump was talking for himself. The words were actually coming out of Donald Trump's mouth, and it was on the news and everything. And when I showed it to that person, this individual, what came out of their mouth, because they didn't want to believe it, was fake news. That's what their defense was. It was fake news, whenever it was Donald Trump that was actually speaking and saying the stuff that he was saying. And I was just like, what? Are you serious? But it's like this. They're so wrapped around his finger. They got their pride involved in it, to the point that, they don't want to be wrong about him. They want to be right. So it's becoming a prideful issue with them to be shown that, they're following after a corrupt man, and even when you show it to them and they see it, but they don't want to be made to look like, they were wrong. So they're tied up in so high in their pride that they're going to fall, just like Lucifer fell from heaven, and they're going to fall with this Antichrist spirit of Donald Trump and the false prophet, and they're going to be thrown into the lake of fire because of their pride, So they don't want to admit that they're wrong. So I don't know, maybe hopefully I said that correctly, but that's what I see. I know this is part of the New World Order's plan. I just have a hard time figuring out how it's going to go, like which direction or what's their move. But I know that this coronavirus is part of it, and I just don't know how everything's going to turn out in the end, but I am going to watch and see what's going to play out. But I just hope all of y'all are careful and start paying attention and keep your eyes open and not fall for the New World Order deception of the one world religion and the mark of the beast, and stop following after a man, because that man's not the one who's going to save you. Only Jesus Christ can save you. And remember this, Adam and Eve, when they were in the Garden of Eden, they were the first people on this earth, and they were closer to God than we are, because they actually got to hear his voice every day, in the Garden of Eden. And they were, doing their thing in the garden, eating off the trees except for one tree. And here comes Lucifer, Satan, as a serpent, and he's in the tree, and he's talking to Eve, and he's telling Eve all this garbage, and it sounded so convincing to Eve, like he was telling her, you love God so much, don't you want to be like him? And and she did love God a whole lot, and she got tricked into eating of the fruit of the tree of good and evil, and she was deceived. So if you don't think you can get deceived, and you're foolish to think that way, because Satan, that's his main tactic. He deceived Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. He's going to deceive you if he can, and if you're not careful, you could already be caught up in his deception and going in the wrong direction. And I'm just trying to help pull you right out of it. That's the only thing I'm trying to do. And just so you understand, I don't hate Donald Trump. The Bible says that we're to love everybody, and that's what I do. I love everybody, but I do see through him, and I know that he's not right, and I know that he's trying to deceive us. And part of the deception is you can do good things, get people thinking that you're one way by doing a lot of good things to get them to win them over on your side. He might say he's working towards ending abortions, but I haven't seen an end to the abortions. They're still doing abortions right now, even while we're told to stay home because of the coronavirus. There's women going right now getting abortion. They're allowing them to do that, but they're shutting down other things, like if you have a surgery for, I don't know, maybe you needed a knee implant or something like that, they may shut that one down, but they're going to allow you to go get an abortion. So I don't see him putting an end to the abortion things. And then the homosexual marriage, that really offends God, and I haven't seen an end to that. I don't know if people that are homosexuals are allowed to get married still while this coronavirus is going on, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're allowing that too. But I'm just trying to tell y'all that we're living in a world full of deceptions, and Donald Trump is part of it. And he's going to, right now he's probably saying that he don't want no one to get a vaccine or vaccinated or something like that, but here soon he will change his song and dance, and he will probably think that it's best for everyone to get a vaccine, and then everyone in the world will start to feel like we need this vaccine and probably cry for it themselves. Be like, we don't want to get sick, give us a vaccine, and that vaccine that they're going to get is not a good vaccine. This vaccine it was created to attack your God gene. It's the God gene that we have in our head. And I have a video here that I would like for y'all to see that will explain this a lot better. They're just trying to kill that, and when they kill that, then your desire to worship and praise and want to be with God will disappear, and you'll just be like an atheist. And that's basically what they want. They don't want any more Christians. They think that we have mental disorders, and this vaccines that they've been giving us, in fact they said they've been putting it in vaccines for a while, and they're just trying to kill the God gene, to separate us further from God. And so I wouldn't take any vaccine. I don't trust these people at all. I just hope that y'all do the right thing, and if you're concerned about getting sick, try other things like home remedies and stuff like that. Whatever you do, just don't take this mark of the beast or this vaccine, especially when you know the virus was a man-made virus, patent in the USA, and and it's part of this new world order to get it started. That's why it's out right now. Why would you trust the people that's to help you they're the ones that actually started it in the first place. So I wouldn't take their stupid vaccines. And then they're trying to give some kind of mark on your skin to prove that you've been vaccinated. And then if you don't have this proof, then you're not going to be allowed to go into grocery stores so you can buy or sell things. So I think that's just another big indicator that, that's the mark of the beast, because that's where it says in the Bible, you take a mark on your hand and if you don't, then you can't buy or sell. And that's the mark of the beast. And I'm not going to take that, and I hope y'all don't take the mark of the beast. This is really important to me. This is why I share this with y'all. It's hard, to try and wake up people, but I love people so much, and I keep trying and I keep trying. And sometimes I get a little discouraged, and sometimes I go quiet for a while, because I guess I figured that there's no use in trying. But the Lord deals with me, and He tells me to continue trying to wake up the people, to tell the people that He loves them, and He wants them to come and get closer with Him, and come to know Jesus as their personal Lord and Savior. But I also have something else I'd like to share with y'all. The New World Order, it's a one world leader, a one world religion, a one world government, a one world currency, Well, the one world leader is the Antichrist, and I can't tell you who that could be. I mean, I had ideals before, like it could have been Obama, or it still could be, I don't know. Or it could be Donald Trump, and that could be possible too. Or it could be someone totally, that we don't even know. Only God knows, and I really hope we're out of here and we don't have to be concerned about who it is. But the rabbis over in Israel, this was in Israel News, they were saying that they're speaking with the Messiah, and they were saying something about having him be introduced during Passover, but I think that's Passover's already went, but I'm not sure. I don't keep up with the Jewish holidays, so I don't know. But it could be after the Passover. I have no clue. But they were talking about that in a news article, that they're waiting for him to receive his powers. And see, the Antichrist will have powers, like supernatural powers, and he'll be able to do miracles that would be, like, in some people's opinion, nice. And it could be nice enough to make you think he's the actual Messiah, and he's not. Jesus Christ, he already came and died on the cross. He's the Messiah. And this one that the rabbis are talking about, he's not the real Messiah. He's Lucifer's Messiah. And remember, the Bible said that the Jews never accepted Jesus, and but they'll accept another one, and well, another person that comes in their own name, and well, they're going to accept this other Messiah, and because they never did believe Jesus was the real Messiah. So anyways, that's happening right now too, during this coronavirus, during the lockdown, during this time where they're trying to get the people vaccinated and marked with that mark that tells whether or not you've been vaccinated or not. So I mean, everything is lining up, so if you're thinking that we're not there yet, it's just that you haven't been paying very much attention. If you have doubts, go look on Facebook and join my group. It's called End Time Watchmen's on the Wall. I created that group a long time ago. So just go there, and you'll see on the front page, it's pinned, the article about the the Messiah, the rabbis saying that they're talking with the Messiah. So we are here, and for all of you out there that are asleep and just think that Christians are crazy because we're saying that Jesus is coming soon based off the coronavirus, and that's the only thing you're understanding. It's not just the coronavirus. There's the New World Order plan that's been in the makings for a while. There's the rivers and bodies of water turning blood red, and that's been happening for a while. The earthquakes have been happening for a while, and they've been increasing, just like a woman who's about to give birth, the labor pains. The mass animal die-offs, they still continue happening every day, it seems like. There's a lot of things that are going on that's pointing to the soon return of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And a lot of people are just making excuses one after the other, like they're trying to ignore the facts that we are actually living in that time frame. And I've even heard people complain about living in this time that we're living in, because they feel that it's unfair to them because they didn't get to go to college, or they didn't get to have a family, or they're not going to get married, or they're not going to be able to achieve their life dreams, and all this stuff. And I was really like surprised to hear someone say all that, whenever Jesus has he has something way better for us in heaven. So for them to worry about what they're going to miss out on in this world, that's crazy. Well, anyways, I have a video I'd like for y'all to look at, and please share this video. If you have to, download this video. You can edit it, take my little bit out, and just take the other video that I'm attaching to this and add it to your what do you call it? Add it to your YouTube channel, or if you like, you can keep the whole thing together, add it to your YouTube channel. I don't mind at all. The more people that hear about this, the better. They need to know this. And I have ran into people that will not even listen to a video if it's not how to explain this, if it's not something that they agree with. If they just read the title, and they don't agree with the title, they won't listen to the video. And that's getting a little bit ridiculous. It's like they're refusing to hear the truth, and that means that they're seriously brainwashed. And it's hard to wake people up if they're refusing to listen. And I know a lot of people that are like that, in fact, in my life, and it's hard to talk to them, because when I'm trying to talk to them, they'll interrupt me. They'll actually get up and go do something else, and it's hard to try to wake people that are wanting to stay asleep. But I keep trying because I love them so much, and I don't want them to fall for the deceptions that are coming. But sometimes it's just so hard to try and get them to wake up. But anyways, I just wanted to share this with y'all, and I love you all, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and God bless you all.
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalist, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach.
What you're suggesting here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a bullet in their head?
So the data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will have major effects in the Middle East.
How would you suggest that this is going to be dispersed? The aerosol?
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses, such as flu or rhinoviruses, and we believe that that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population. Most of us, of course, have been exposed to both of those viruses, and we're quite confident that this will be a very successful approach.
This is fascinating. What's the name of this proposal?
Yeah, so the name of this project is FunVax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalism.
And you have a proposal already?
The proposal has just been submitted, and I think that the data that I have shown you today would support the development of this project, and we think it has great promise.